How we doing? I've seen you guys for ages. I'm super excited for this next panel. Please give it up for the Goonies, Martha, Plimpton and Kerri Green. This is the end, guys. Get off the middle couch. So, I've got some sensible notes.
You forgot to introduce Walter. He doesn't mind.
There's a dog on the stage. I repeat, there's a dog on the stage. What type of dog have we got?
A Chihuahua.
A Chihuahua? Oh, this is going to sidetrack everything, isn't it? It's like, hey, get up, questions and microphone.
I think this is his first time on. Oh no, this is his second time on stage.
Will he take questions? Are you a small, tiny dog?
Yes.
Look at this. This is some top tier journalism. Please, guys, if you have questions with the Goonies, jump up at number 1, jump up at number 2. If you can't get it to a microphone, give me a shout. Someone will come and find you. How are you guys doing?
Wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing alright. You know, I've had a great weekend.
Great.
It's been fun.
Yeah, us too.
First time in Liverpool?
Yes, first time in Liverpool. Not my first time in England, obviously. I live much of the year in London, so I didn't have to travel too far to get to Liverpool. But it's a beautiful city. Really enjoying it.
Oh,
Love it.
I'm not taking credit for Liverpool, but yeah. Oh, that's ace. Oh, have you had a chance to get out and take your dog for a walk?
Yes, actually. I got here on Friday, I guess, and I did a lot of walking around the Albert Dock, and then I wandered over to Matthew Street and had a peek in at the Cavern Club, got some good merch, got a couple of t-shirts, bought the Cavern Club onesie for my nephew who's arriving, like coming out of my sister in, not coming here, he's arriving literally on the planet at the end of the month. And so that was really exciting. And yeah, last night we went to a great restaurant called Bell's End here in town. You should check it out, it was delicious. Yeah, good.
Say it, yeah, just...
Kerri doesn't really talk very much.
It's okay. Me, you and the dog, we've got this.
What was the question?
That was about 10 minutes. I don't know. I don't know anymore. We're going to talk about the Goonies, apparently. But I think we'll just have fun.
Yeah.
I think we'll just have fun. We've got a dog.
Already.
We've got a dog and potentially a live birth somewhere.
Yeah.
But, you know, anything can happen.
He asked if it was your first time in Liverpool.
Yes, it is my first time in Liverpool. Love it. Walked around Albert Dock, went to the Cavern Club, met Rocky. Do you guys know him?
No. Is he another dog?
No, he showed us around the Cavern.
Oh, that's cool.
And yeah, I wish we could stay longer,
Yeah.
but you know.
It's, yeah.
Yeah, but I hope we can come back.
Yeah.
It's so nice, and everyone's been just so nice, so friendly, so welcoming. It's really been a lovely time.
There's a lot of passionate Goonies fans because it's a film that like really, I mean, it was literally your childhood, but it was a lot of people's childhoods. Am I right?
Yeah.
And I would imagine the fans are equally as passionate everywhere you go. Does the fan response, what are we now, like 40, 39 years later?
Almost 40 years.
Does it still shock you that?
Didn't I have my 13th birthday when we were filming? 13th or 14th? No, 14th. I turned 14. Yeah.
17. No, I turned 18.
During the making of the film? That's what it is.
It'll be 40 years next year.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. There's definitely going to be
I think there's more love now. I think there's a sense of so many people remember it and then are showing their kids.
Yeah.
And right, it's kind of got.
And their grandchildren.
Well, I wasn't going to mention
that.
I'm going to jump to question number 1. Hello.
Hi, Dan or Mouth. Midlife crisis Mouth anyway. For me, the Goonies was like the epitome of what you fantasize as a kid when you're out playing in the woods, or you're mucking about riding your bicycles. The sense of chemistry that you all had, I found magical, because I don't know, and I'd like some insight as to whether there was maybe some, not team building, but some bonding beforehand, before production started perhaps, or something like that, or maybe it was just purely the chemistry at the time of you all.
I think a lot of that has to do with the director, Richard Donner. He really created an environment where he wanted us to have fun. He let us each be ourselves, and the boys were wild, and and he kind of said, let it ride. And so I think we all had this sense of real freedom to be ourselves, and in addition, we had actual experiences together. So the very beginning of filming, we were all up in Astoria, and so it was just the film who we were all, we didn't know anybody else, so we kind of bonded very, very quickly up there. And we kind of we'd go out to restaurants, we went horseback riding. The production found out, was like, oh my God, because that was not covered under insurance.
Right.
And, but we had all these kind of experiences together. And then the filming was supposed to be 3 months and ended up being 5, plus a trip to Hawaii at the end. So we really did spend a lot of time together, and it wasn't just us, it was most of our guardians, our parents. So it really, that sense of connection and family was real.
Joy that kids can be kids. You really get that sense that there's still that kind of like eternal joy about the film. Thank you for that answer. One last question. The scene with the octopus at the end, haven't seen it, like, even for its slightly hammy nature, I still love it. Do you feel like it was a mistake? Obviously you guys weren't party to that decision, perhaps, but do you feel like that's something that should be in a cut these days?
Being someone who had to spend like almost a week wrestling with that thing, literally like pretending to be, and I had to be like, I had to hold it on myself because it was so cheap, stupid. It was really dumb. It was really dumb. And I think the movie is absolutely perfect the way it is. And Steve and Dick Donner were absolutely right to go nix the octopus.
Thank you very much.
But I'm glad it's in the DVD extras and all that stuff because it's a fun part of the story of our experience.
It's definitely the right decision to get rid. Because there's so many films where that film was great except for, and you don't want the Goonies to ever be, it was good apart from the big rubber octopus. Hello, number 2.
Hello. How did your life change after the movie?
Significantly. Some of us had done other things before. We'd all done other things before. But I think this was more the experience than, because when the Goonies first came out, it wasn't that big a hit. I think a lot of people expected it to make a much bigger splash because obviously both Stephen and Richard had many huge successes. And Goonies was considered sort of a flop at the time, which is an interesting thing because it came out and I think we all expected our lives to change way more than they actually did initially. I think the ways it changed was just in terms of our friendships and also gaining that sort of incredible experience of working on a film like this and for so long, and we reshot a big chunk of stuff too. We went back and, like Kerri said, we were meant to be 3 months, it turned into 5 months, and so we learned a great deal, not only about filmmaking, but about how to behave on a set, how to, you know what I mean? I mean, it was like, in that sense, it was a real learning experience. But initially, you know, like I said, it was kind of a flop, and I think the fact that it came out literally right at the dawn of video rentals and cable, right in the early days of cable in America, it got replayed and rented, and that's where it found its audience. That's where it became like almost like a cult classic. Now I think people just think of it as a classic, which is amazing. I mean, the evolution of it has been really extraordinary, and I think so. To answer your question, long story short, I think it's still changing our lives as we're moving along. It's still impacting and changing our lives. For example, getting to come to Liverpool and meet you guys and sign autographs and take pictures with you is a huge thing for me, probably for Kerri, I think for all of us. We feel incredibly privileged. So yeah, it's still changing our lives.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us. Yes.
Sort of to tie into that, there's obviously the idea of the legacy of the Goonies, and it never got a sequel. Now, everyone knows Kevin Smith. I used to listen to Kevin Smith's podcast. He had a guy on who used to work for DC Comics, Jeff Johns. Jeff Johns used to write Justice League and Superman. He's a film producer. He did an internship with Richard Donner, and one of his things was clear out a cupboard. I remember I was listening to this on the bus going to work. It was like, Dick Donner got me in the things that clear out this cupboard, and as he was going through stuff, he found the script for Goonies 2. I was like 2013, that podcast, you just listening to it, like Goonies, there was a Goonies 2 that never got made. What do you know about Goonies 2 that never got made?
I don't think we really know, but I believe there were a lot of Goonies 2 that never got made. I think there were a lot of stabs at that story, a lot of people connected to the movie who tried a different script, a different idea. I think there were one or two that Dick and Steven really considered. Also, everything I'm saying could be completely made up. I don't really know.
I mean, my question is based on a podcast that I listened to in 2013, so your answer is fine.
Well, I mean, I never read a Goonies 2, and I think Steven, I mean, maybe Steven and Dick were considering it at one point, but never got past the point. Never even went into development. So yeah, and then finally at one point Steven did actually say, I think when we were on that Zoom, he did actually say, we did a Zoom, like a reading of the Goonies original script for charity, and he did say, you know what, why gild the lily, you know, why ruin a perfect, great thing? Yes. And I couldn't agree more, and I also know that he can't afford me.
Number one, can you afford that?
No, I can't.
But you do have a question.
I do.
Let's go.
Statement first, just to say I'm a massive Goonies fan, and the film has been very inspirational to me and has continued to allow me to go on a positive path and keep believing. My question is that there is a secret holiday that you went on to Maui, which was filmed by Mark Marshall, that was captured. I want to know really how that came about when you surprised Dick Donner, and how that felt actually doing that.
Yeah.
So, Dick Donner would often come onto the set saying, "Oh my God, these GD kids, I can't wait till this is over. I'm going to Maui. I can't wait to go to Maui." I mentioned how wild the boys were, and that was very he was funny. I say this because we'd all laugh when he said that. He wasn't being mean. But he sort of meant it too. So anyway, Jeff comes to the set one day wearing like a big camera around his neck and like all this beach stuff. He's, "Dick, I'm coming to Maui with you. I'm coming to Maui with you." And Dick would crack up. And Steven was like, and he sent us all there to be there in his house so that when he got on his blessed vacation away from all the GD Goonies, we were there waiting for him in his living room. And I think you were just kind of like, "Hey," like because we're kind of like, we made it seem like we were like casual and stuff. And then he fell to his knees laughing. He had the best sense of humor.
He nearly had a heart attack. Like an actual coronary. He almost did. I remember him saying, like he was grasping his chest. Like, he couldn't breathe. It was so outrageous. And I gotta be honest, for a minute, I couldn't tell if he was really, really angry.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Or like, and then went, "This is great. This is amazing. I'm delighted."
That's when you asked how our lives changed, this concept that somebody could send an entire cast and our parents on a vacation to Hawaii for a joke. That even existed, that kind of money even existed. That for me was like shocking. That was a shocking concept. It was funny though.
Yeah, it was funny.
We've got a question from right at the back from what appears to be the Crow at number 3. Are you the Crow?
Yeah.
What's your question, Eric?
Dreaming. I just wanted to say that I didn't actually expect to be here today, like in this room. I just found out, oh, hey, Goonies, sounds cool. What do you call it again? I grew up like watching this movie practically like every summer, every chance I got, because it was one of my favorite movies. I love the 80s. I think it's a great idea. Most of my favorite actors were in that film actually. And I was just wondering, how did it feel to work with like Corey Feldman and Josh Brolin?
Teenage Corey Feldman. What's the verdict?
Was he a menace?
Yeah. I will just kind of say what we said before. Like, we were immediate family. And I say that for everything. It was, we would crack each other up. We would beat each other up. There were 7 of us in a school trailer together. There were fights. There were, they would say, the adults when they'd walk past the trailer would say, like, if the trailer was bouncing around. Because, it was 7 of us, 2 teachers in a school trailer. It was, none of us were famous. We were just a bunch of kids, being kids. And that was, we all had our personalities, and it really did become like a family in that way, where you would love each other and hate each other, and then, well, maybe you guys have better families than us, but we, that kind of love, and when you're in each other's space all the time, it got very intimate in that way. And I think because having that experience to this day as adults, we all feel very close, even though even if, you know, there's oceans apart. We're always going to be bonded.
Have we got a Goonies 40th anniversary coming up? Are you doing anything?
You know, no one's mentioned anything like that to me. It would be fun. It would be a lot of fun. Yeah, maybe we should wait till the 50th.
I'm down.
I mean, you know, because it's like a nice number.
1950.
50, you know, it's like your golden celebration.
Yeah, but life begins at 40. That's what they say.
Yeah, well, they're wrong. It really begins at 50.
Like reality.
Michael Jackson.
If you had one of the, if you were,
If you wanted to be another character in Goonies other than what you played, what would you be?
That's a great question.
Is it the octopus?
Kelly?
Yeah, maybe I would be one of the Fratelli brothers, or I'll tell you who I wouldn't want to be. Because he's so perfect and so brilliantly hilarious and genius and so wonderful in the movie, is I wouldn't want to be Data. Because he had to wear so much shit all the time, right? And he always had to have like this big heavy coat. Imagine wearing the same clothes every day for 5 months. When I picked my costume, I was like, oh, this is fun. By the end of that 5 months, I wanted to make a bonfire and set it all alight with gasoline, petrol. But I wouldn't want to be Data because remember his pockets always had to have all this stuff in it. I remember like him doing like the jaws of death or life, whatever. What are they the jaws of?
Pinches of power.
What's that? Pinches of power. Pinches of power. That took forever. It took he just had so much gack that I would not want to be him. That's it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to think about that question because I love getting a question I've never gotten before. But I do sometimes think that the Fratellis, they had fun. They had fun. They said whatever they wanted. They sang whatever they wanted. They kind of had a bit of
the Fratellis. I think all of our characters were in so many ways kind of just us, you know? So yeah, I think, yeah.
Good question. We've got, let's go to number 4 at the back.
Hi, huge fan. Can I just ask, in a world of remakes, who would have your blessing to play you both? And is there going to be a Sprung season 2?
Is there going to be what, sorry?
Sprung season 2.
Thank you. Sadly, there is not going to be a Sprung season 2. But oh, don't go. Write to Amazon. Write to the geeks at Amazon about that one. But Greg Garcia and Garrett Dillahunt and I will work together again, and it will happen in some form or another, probably sooner rather than later. So that's we love each other and we love working together. And then what was the first part? Oh, who would we?
Who would have your blessing
in the remake?
Yeah.
I am so old, I don't know the name of any 16 or 17-year-old actor. Like I'm a little bit embarrassed, but if you make some suggestions, then I'll say yes. Do you guys can you think of somebody? Yeah.
Everyone in the room was thinking Zendaya. One dude says it, that's it. Timothy Chalamet! We're done.
I don't know any teenage. I'm the same. I'm so out of it as far as young performers go, which is really shameful because there's so many really good actors, but it's not quite. She's probably in her third. I like Florence Pugh. I think she'd be a good Stef.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Millie Bobby Brown. Yeah, she'd be good too. Yeah.
Remake the Goonies with the cast of Stranger Things. Let's do that. Let's just do that. Have David Harbour play the octopus. Number one. Oh, it's Colin. Colin works for a charity. These guys know. I told the joke earlier. I'm paying off the long game. Colin, hello.
Hello. So, first question is, have you seen Night of the Living Dead? No.
Colin works for the George A. Romero charity. I was heckling him earlier. Sorry, Colin.
Well, if you haven't, it's very easy. But then I'm back. Now, what I was going to ask, I did have a big question about a sequel or formulated and kind of got usurped. But I suppose quickly, if you could just touch back on a sequel. If there was a sequel devised and you guys were adults, it was present day, and maybe your kind of children got mixed up in a Goonies type of venture, would that be something that you might be interested in doing?
Like I said, they can't afford me. No. And we're actors, you know. Give us a call, show us the script, and we'll see if we can work it into our schedule.
And then, very, very quickly, was Robert Davi and Joe Pantoliano as menacing as they seem in the film, or were they? They were probably really nice, I guess. Robert Davi always seemed scary. I don't know why.
Were the Fratellis as nice? Were the Fratellis nice in real life?
Oh no, we loved them. They were absolutely hilarious. Joe Pantoliano, is one of the sweetest, dearest, warmest, funniest people you'll ever meet, and we all adored him. Robert Davi was just as terrifying as you can imagine.
Robert Davi would read my Shakespeare homework to me when we were waiting for the, for the set to be ready for us in that big, like, Robert Davi voice. And so it was kind of like, I felt, it was like, what is happening? Like, this is my life. It was so crazy. They were not, he was a little scary in real life, but Joey wasn't, yeah.
I mean, I just mean like physically, he was a really big guy, you know what I mean? And he's got like that face that's like, that intense stare that he's got and everything. But Joey was, and he was wonderful and dear and smart and lovely. But Joey was like a cuddle bear, just a cuddly guy.
They're still funny though, like when they're in do conventions and stuff together, the banter between them is still pretty funny.
Great question.
Thank you very much.
Number 2.
Hi, my name's Amber. I'm a big fan of you. So my question is there any greatest moments from filming the Goonies off and on set for you?
We had a lot of really incredible experiences. First of all, we got to see the Michael Jackson Victory Tour, which was absolutely incredible. We got to meet and hang out with Michael Jackson quite a lot. he would come to the set and visit, and it was just really wild. Like, again, like Kerri was saying, like, what universe am I in? You know, there were so many just eye-popping, amazing things about the experience that we would be here all day. You know what I mean? The sets were incredible. I mean, one of the things I say about this set, I've never seen, it was like being in an amusement park. It was like the whole entire soundstage, which was the biggest soundstage on the Warner Brothers lot. They filled it with water and an actual life-sized ship. I mean, everything you see in that location, in that set, the only thing that's CGI is some of the rocks falling. But the whole thing was real. It was amazing, amazing. And it was, not only was it filled with water, but it was heated. We weren't cold because it was warm water. It was really amazing. It was just amazing.
Yes, I agree with everything there, and also I felt like the, oh my god, I just lost my train.
Every single thing was so amazing.
Now I remember what I was going to say. Somebody asked me this morning, like, what was my favorite memory? And I said, you know, every time I get asked that question, I actually give a different answer. Because there are so many different things, and it's hard to qualify this is better than this, or this is better than this. And so that's kind of when you talk, and also it's really fun to hear other people's specific memories. I forgot that water was heated, but I got to jump the plank. I was like, can I go again? Can I go again? Can I go again? It's fun. So that was, and that one a strong memory is the water in the set, for the most part, was however high it was when we first come out of the waterfall, and I think the water was maybe to about here. But right under the ship, they had to make it deeper because, you know, that's where I jumped off. And one take was so like enthusiastic, I went a little bit far, and they were like, I didn't know, I was told after, it was like, just step off the edge, and I took like a running jump, because I was like, this is so much fun. I completely forgot about that until you just said that. So anyway, thank you.
I do have one more question, if that's okay. If they were going to make a Goonies 2, would you cast in that film? If they asked you to be in that film?
Would we be in it? Would we, of course?
Maybe parents, but you have kids and they might have an adventure.
That was the last question.
Yeah. It's funny. It's so funny. You know, when something grabs your childhood imagination, you don't want to imagine it ever being over. You know, you want it to just live forever and have and keep on going and have, you know, more chapters, right? You want more chapters to the story. And I think in a strange way, you know, because so many people ask that question, that it tells you just how much of a deep sort of like a tethered this film has in so many people's hearts, that they want another chapter. They want another chapter. And so the only answer that I can ever give to that question is, you know, the next chapter is in you. You know, the next chapter is your kids watching it, or your godchild, or your niece, or your nephew, you showing it to them and seeing their amazement and their joy and their excitement at seeing it again. That's the next chapter, you know?
Like 5
minutes over time.
Oh my gosh, we have gone on and on.
I am so sorry for keeping you.
No, not at all. It's been an absolute pleasure and a joy. I can't believe we talked 5 minutes over and Sean wasn't here.
Sean's with the hobbits.
Yeah, he threw us off at the hobbits.
So he could have been here, but he chose his little mates.
Really?
Well, I'm just causing this. Corey Feldman's done it. Someone needs to cause mischief.
Yeah?
It might as well be me. Guys, go on. Should we do one more question? This guy looks super enthusiastic. Go on.
Now, I was just saying, in the movie, a lot of the stuff was scripted, and you know, you had to say everything and all that. But was there anything that you, because the kids that you were at the time, was there any certain moments or lines that were like, you know, improvised and all that? Because there's a certain line that you say in the film, Arthur, and I have to say it now, if I'm allowed to say it. Great, this is like babysitting. No, I'm not getting paid.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, I love that line.
That was excellent.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
He's going to be in Goonies too.
Yeah, you could be a Goonie. Yeah, why not? Yeah, most of it was scripted, which is, you know, you're absolutely right. But, you know, like Kerri was saying, the guys were so wild, the boys were so wild that a lot of their stuff was ad-libbed, a lot of their stuff.
Yeah. When we found the tools,
Yeah.
that was
No, that wasn't scripted, yeah.
like, oh, you look so good.
Yeah.
And we've got to put a pin in it. Sorry, we've got to put a pin in it there, guys. Liverpool, thank you so much.